Well, the primary election is now just 3 days away, and when the votes are counted, we'll know who the next mayor of Honolulu will be. 4 main candidates are in the field. We interviewed Councilman Rod Tam on our Monday morning news. Tomorrow, Peter Carlisle and Kirk Caldwell will be here in studio. And now we welcome in Panos Providoros back in our studios. Panos, thanks for joining us here this morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Panos, last night during the debate, an online poll declared that you were the clear-cut winner with 74% of the vote. But former Congressman Ed Case said that voting for you would be, quote, a wasted vote. Why do you think people like him are saying that and believe that it's a wasted vote for you?
Well, for one, is lawyer talk. For two, is, well, the same person at the same time in the congressional election was calling on Colleen Hanabusa when she had 18% of the vote to step out. And what happened there? I mean, he wound up third, and Colleen had a very strong showing. So we're, stoked, and we're going forward with our campaign, and we will be victorious or very close to it.
Well, at one point during the debate, it was an interesting moment when you were asked what you have learned from other mayors and what you hope to learn from them. Don't you think it's important? You never really answered that question. Don't you think it's important that when you take on a job that you understand what other predecessors have done before you, and that you have to learn from those mistakes?
Actually, different cities have different governance setup of how they are governed, depending on what authority the mayor has, what authority the city manager has, and what authority the city council has. For example, in Pasadena, California, the mayor is a titular kind of person, and the city manager is managing the city, and the city manager is appointed by the council. Bottom line for me is not very important to learn from mayors, but it's to learn how cities are run for real. What is going on with their infrastructure? How did they manage significant damages they had of them, problems they had with their sewers, with the water mains, with the roads? How did they address them systematically, and how were they able to afford the fixes? Birmingham, Alabama is an excellent example of having rotten sewers and then getting into a pyramiding kind of finance scheme, which actually made the national news because it damn near bankrupted the town. So I didn't learn that from the mayor. I learned from the management of the city, and you can actually do it right in a way to finance the project.
Speaking of infrastructure, we have to talk about the rail project.
Sure.
You are against the rail project, but the people have voted, and they said that they do want the rail project. Why would you go against the people's vote?
Well, strictly speaking, if you look at the amendment, it really says that the people voted on a steel-on-steel technology. It's really a very limited kind of amendment, charter amendment. It didn't say that people really voted for a rail system and the exact dimensions of it. Now, again, if we go back to it, all the premises when the vote was taken are not valid today. That's why I say at a minimum we need a re-vote. And I can sense that the public sentiment is against the boondoggle. I mean, everybody now knows that it's a very limited solution to our problems.
Panos Providoros, we wish you much luck this weekend, and we thank you for joining us here this morning.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now, if you'd like to see this interview again or view any of our other segments or from our morning news, you can go to KITV.com this morning, and also tune into KITV4 News this Saturday for complete coverage of the primary election starting at 5:30 p.m. You can also go to our website, KITV.com, throughout the night for the latest.